So welcome to this exclusive hub telling you the 7 ways that you're currently struggling to improve your glutes. These 7 things are things that most people often forget, misplace, or have misinformation around them, and that is what has been holding back your progress. Over the next 10 to 15 minutes, I will be breaking down all of these and giving you every single little bit of nugget that you need to start implementing it. What I want you to do most importantly by the end of the day is have the information, but not only have the information, have the action plan ahead to make sure that you can put the information, the change together to get the results that you ultimately want. Enough of me talking, let's peel back the curtain and give you the 7 secrets to grow your glutes the right way. Progressive overload is at the top of my list because far too often I'm seeing women not pushing themselves to where they need to be, not upping the weight every single week, not making sure the reps go up or the reps go down, making sure they're not even tracking their progress. Every single time you step foot into the gym, you should be aiming to do a little bit more. More doesn't necessarily mean weight, it can be more reps, it could be more time under tension. There will be an email hitting your inbox very shortly detailing a little bit more about progressive overload in more detail, which you really want to check. Because all I want to do right now is get the thought in your mind and then give you the time to learn more, to put more action in there. But simply stated, progressive overload is how we adapt the body over time to give you the gain. Second is mind-muscle connection. What's the point progressive overloading and making stuff harder if you cannot feel it in the right place? If you're trying to work out your glutes and all of a sudden you're feeling it in your triceps, you're feeling it in your stomach, you're feeling it in your chest, are you really doing the right exercises? Because at the end of the day, to grow our glutes, you need to make sure that you can feel them grow. One of the key tips, and I want you to try this right now, is to jump up out of your seat, stand up nice and tall, tuck your bum in and squeeze it as tight as you possibly can. So you want to really make sure that you're squeezing that tight, thrusting your hips to the forwards, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Come on, stand up, hold, and relax. Can you feel the muscle contract in there? I mean, I only did it for a couple of seconds and I can feel it now. That's how we call mind-muscle connection. When performing exercises such as squats, such as RDLs, such as hip thrusts, which will be in the program, which will be hitting your email very shortly, so make sure you stay tuned for that. You want to be able to feel the muscles working. The more you can feel the muscles working, the more muscle fibers will be recruited, meaning there's more chance of more development, more growth, more strength, more improved performance. Because that's how muscle is built, by being applied and being used. Therefore, if the muscles can be used over a longer period of time and you're recruiting more muscle fibers, what do you think is going to happen? You're really going to become stronger, you're going to look in glutes, and you're also going to have way more lean a physique because you're using more muscle, meaning that the fat will have to disappear as you build up more muscle. Mind-muscle connection is something that takes time, and it's something that you can practice. Before you start workout, squeezing your glutes nice and tight is a good one. Lowering down the weight so you can focus on your form and make sure what you're doing is correctly is another way. And then the third tip, which I want you to think about, is time under tension. What I mean by that is holding specific exercises up at the top and then letting it come back down slowly. Holding it up at the top, letting it come back down slowly. These are amazing tools to build up that mind-muscle connection. Third on my list is exercise selection, because there's so much misinformation around exercise selection. You can go onto YouTube, Instagram, TikTok and type in glute workouts or booty building workouts, and you'll come across this thing: build your booty in 15 minutes, or build your booty with this 25-minute leg bums and tums workout, which will probably consist of you jumping up and around your room, which will probably consist of you doing lunges until your legs fall off, and probably require little to no rest. That's detrimental, because these exercises don't build muscle. They're just a nice way to add some cardiovascular into your system and give you some type of HIIT training. When building your glutes, what your main focus is increasing strength, because to be strong, you need muscle. Let me say that again. To be strong, you need muscle. And what is muscle? A bigger glute. So what you want to be doing is really looking to improve performance. To do that, we have various different exercises, and hinging exercises, one of the greatest exercises for your hips. And this is what I really want you to remember. Your hips hinging and coming forward helps lengthen our glute. If we are training our glute at a lengthened position, that is one way that we can build our glutes, because we can stretch that muscle nice and tight. then contract it nice and small and require more muscle fibers to be used as they're being stretched and then compressed, meaning that you can build your glutes in this fashion. You'll find that these exercises, such as coming out and coming in, will use higher amounts of weight. Stuff like hip thrusts, you will definitely feel them in your glutes. But not only that, the glutes can work in multiple ways. It can also be worked in a shortening way as well. So what we do by that is have our glutes start short and then extend our glute and make it longer. Something like a step up is really good for this, or a reverse lunge. Start it in that shortened position and then we're looking to lengthen it out. We can also work the glute in an internal and external rotation too. For example, anything like a kick back and to the side, banding hip adductors, closing your legs in, moving your legs from the inside to the outside works in that internal and external rotation as well. The lengthen, the shorten, and the internal rotation are the three key exercise selections when it comes to hitting your glutes. I will be teaching you way more about this on day 7. So make sure that you keep your inbox nice and open and we can help put all them pieces together and give you an even better action plan. But let's go on to the next one. Let's talk nutrition. 2 things I want you to think about here. Number 1, where are you currently? If you're wanting to grow your glutes, where are you currently? There will be 2 options. It'd be a little bit uncomfortable with how much body fat that you may have in your body. You might feel like, I've got nice glutes, I feel like I've got a big bum, it's there. However, there's layers of fat elsewhere which I want to kind of remove to help it look better. Or you fall into the second camp of you feel like you've got no glutes whatsoever and you're wanting to build them up and you don't have that much excess fat on your body and you kind of want to give yourself more shape. The 2 ways that I kind of talk about it is like this. You'll have somebody who needs to carve out their sculpture and get rid of the excessive rock on the outside, and you'll have somebody who is building their sculpture. They've got all the materials, but they just need to build it up. Whichever camp that you fall in, your nutritional approach is completely different. I'm going to break down both of them now. So if you're on the side of you're high in body fat percentage and you are trying to sculpt your own body and kind of chip away them layers of fat, aka chip away the rock on the outside of the sculpture, what you're best doing is jumping into what we call a calorie deficit. Calorie deficit is simply burning more calories than you're consuming. There will be more details on this in an upcoming email too. But basically, all you want to be doing is becoming more active inside and outside of the gym. Ways to help increase your calorie deficit without having to restrict your food and eat nothing whatsoever is become more active day to day. More walks, more being active, cleaning your bedroom, cleaning downstairs, cooking, going for walks, being active. If you are currently sat at your desk or you're currently laid in bed or you're currently just sieving through Instagram or you've just gone through a Netflix marathon before you clicked on this email, what you want to be able to do is say, no, I'm going to be more active. That's number 1. Number 2, increase the amount of protein that you have within your diet, because protein is an amazing source to keep you full for longer. So the more protein that you intake, the less likely you are to feel hungry all the time. And that's going to be massive for when you're in a calorie deficit, as you're going to be eating less food than you're burning. The third thing that I would really incorporate is having fluids on board and rest, making sure that you don't leave yourself too dehydrated, as most of the time when you're dehydrated, you're more likely to eat sugar, more likely to snack, more likely to go over your calorie deficit, and most likely to cry and be upset. I know this firsthand. If you're on the other side of things, there you've got all the materials, you've got your rock, you've got your hammer, and you want to build your sculpture up, aka that you are quite lean, but you feel like you've not got a bum, you want to build that, you really want to build that shelf. The best thing that I would say to you is to eat in a calorie surplus. Calorie surplus is eating more calories than you're currently burning, you to put on more muscle. You say that because calories help improve your energy balance, and the more energy that your body has, the more ability it has to grow lean muscle tissue. What you want to be able to do on this is have healthy, whole grains, whole foods during this. You don't want to do what you may see or may heard, dirty bulking, where you just eat whatever you want and just say, well, I need calories, so I'm going to eat whatever I want to put on the weight to help me gain the muscle. Because you want to make sure that when you are putting on the size and you are eating more calories, that we are adding excess fat to your body, or else you'll get to a stage where you've put on loads of muscle, a ton of fat, and you currently think that's not what I expected. We want to build lean muscle with as little fat as possible, keeping your body fat at the low percentage while we build up onto them. Protein's a must. You want to be very cautious of your carbohydrate intake. Now, this does not mean you have to have no carbs whatsoever, but what I would strongly advise is reducing stuff like sugars and reducing stuff like fizzy drinks, because they will tend to lead to more snacking, and the more snacking that you may do, even though you have calories and you're eating more, you might fall into bad habits where you start to overindulge in these things, start adding more body fat to your body, and instead of building glutes and staying lean, you're building glutes and adding excess fat, and you're not comfortable or happy with the way that you look. Don't worry, there's going to be so much more on nutrition hitting your emails, as well as a guide which will help you drop a dress size in 6 weeks as well. And if you're somebody on the flip side who wanted to gain their glutes up, that post is still really important, because the things that you can take from that will apply to your situation. You might not want to drop a dress size, but you want to do everything inside that, because it will get you to where it is. Say something which is you're not gonna like. You might even click off the video, and you might, stop listening to anything that I said. And you might think, this guy's a bit of a dickhead. Why is he saying this stuff? And I needed somebody to tell me this. And as soon as I learned this, I made so much more improvements, both in my personal life, in my business, and in my physique as well. And it's so simple, and I don't think so many people understand it. Your effort you're putting in right now is terrible. It's absolutely shocking. And shall I tell you why I know it's shocking? It's because you're not happy with the results that you're currently getting. Now, yes, does this sound harsh? Yes, it does sound harsh. But the reality is you're falling in one of two camps. You're putting loads of effort in. You're going to the gym, you're eating well, you're doing all this, but you're still not getting the results. So you're putting loads of effort in the wrong places. Or on the flip side, you're currently putting no effort in and expecting the world. Two sides of the coins, both as detrimental as each other. Me personally, I fall into the category of putting loads of effort in the wrong place. And most time, the wrong place is the most comfortable place. It's the place that you enjoy. For me, I used to train. Didn't care about my nutrition. Didn't care about my recovery. Didn't care about making sure that I wasn't bloated. Didn't care about getting enough sleep. Didn't care about walking more. Didn't care about keeping myself hydrated. Didn't care about keeping my mindset nice and clear. Didn't care about working on my self-confidence. Didn't care about working on my self-image. Wasn't bothered about having something or somebody hold me accountable and do exactly what I said I would do. Yet, I would go to the gym and spend an hour and a half in there every single day of the week. All that effort. And I used to get so mad, so jaded that I wouldn't see the results. I was clouded. I was just channel minded. I didn't actually see in there all my effort is going into one place, but there's still so many other aspects which I'm not dripping it into. Because you could be 100% into your training, but that means that some areas will not see the benefits. And to get the glutes that you want, unfortunately, it's not as simple as just following one workout that you see on YouTube. It's about making sure that you're eating the right food, making sure you're having enough sleep, making sure that your body's hydrated, making sure that you're improving your relationship with yourself. So instead of pointing out your flaws, you can look at your improvements and be happy with the progress that you're making, rather than looking at yourself in the mirror and thinking, I'm making no progress. Fall into the second side. Don't put no effort in at all. Don't go to the gym. Don't eat the right foods. Make excuses. Are lazy. Sat on your phone, scrolling through Instagram, wanting people's bodies, wanting people's physiques, but not putting no damn work in. Which one do you fall into? Either or, you need to make a change. You need to either work harder or you need to look at other areas. That's very hard to do by yourself because we're emotional beings. And shall I tell you what changed my life? Having a coach. As soon as I had somebody there to help and guide me, I could look and take myself out of my own emotions and think, that person's got my best interests at heart. They're going to tell me do this, and this, and I would do that. So if you're currently thinking, I'm putting loads of effort in and not seeing results, get a coach. If you're somebody who's doing nothing and upset that you're getting no results, get a coach. The fact that you're on this video, you know who the coach is for you. If this one hits home and it hits your heart, reach me out, send me a DM, because trust me, it's the best thing that you'll do. But if you don't believe me, let me tell you even why. Let me go on to the next one. Too much variety. Too much variety can kill anything, because it's all well and good having a good training program, having good diet, having good sleep, having good water, having good steps, All the stuff that I've kind of really just talked about, if you're doing all of them, that's amazing. Should I tell you what it's not amazing? Is when after a week of not seeing results, you throw that to one side and try something else. And you don't see no results. So you take all that stuff, throw it out the window and try something else again. Or you're going from one training program to the next training program to the next training program, week after week after week. Or this TikTok trend, that TikTok trend, this TikTok trend, that Instagram post, what that girl said on Instagram, what that girl said on Instagram. Going from one thing to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other will mean that your journey looks more like this rather than this. But they never realise that doing this stuff over a period of time, it might look like you're just slowly going across. But as you keep being more consistent and you're building more momentum, that journey starts getting quicker, 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 and quicker. Because have you ever thought, what about if I just didn't stop that week? Where do you think I'd be now? Or what about if I didn't actually change that because it was working? I just didn't lose a pound that week and then I kind of stopped and put it all away. Or you go into the gym and you could tell that your glutes were getting bigger. You looked, you put your leggings on, you thought, no, you know what? There's something there, you know. Looking a bit Kim K, looking a bit J-Lo-y. But then you stopped. What happened if you didn't? And what happened if you didn't go from trend to trend to trend to trend and actually give you time to see what works best for you? Because that trend might have worked, but you didn't give it enough time to see because you went to the next one. So too much variety can kill. And what's so difficult is we live in a day and age where there's variety all around us, whether that's men, whether that's girls, whether that's dresses, whether that's shoes, whether that's restaurants. Open your phone up now and you can get anything times 10. There'll be 10 versions of anything. There's a million other coaches out there, but you sat watching this one. You sat watching me. And what I'm saying now is put your trust, your faith, your passion into what I'm saying and run it. See the benefits from it. Because if it didn't work, or if you don't feel like it is going to work, at least you can say, you know what, I tried it, it didn't work for me, move on to the last one. The worst thing that you can do is say, yeah, I really wish I stuck to Tyler. I really wish I stuck to what he was saying. Because too many people fall into that trap. And all the women that I now work with have been through that. I've been through that. And there's loads of women that I speak to, and you'll probably be one person right now watching this video who downloaded this, who watches it, doesn't apply it, and then will say, nothing worked for me, I need to go try something else. Stick it through and see what happens to you. Let me go on to my final tip and what I think really puts all this together in one big package. Then stick to the damn program. And most importantly, put your information that you've heard today into action. There's so many times, or I tell people, should I say, do this, try this, what about this? It goes in one ear, out of the other ear. Doesn't matter how committed or how switched on somebody is. You can have all the information in the world, but if you don't put it into action, you're not going to get the results. You're never going to get the results. And if you keep telling yourself the same story of, it can't be me, I'll never build my glutes, I'll never lose weight, I'll never look how I want to look, I won't feel confident. If you keep telling yourself that, what do you think is going to happen? That's going to be your life. Change your story, change your life. Take information and apply action. That's how you have a transformation. And for some of you, that might be the wake-up call that you needed. For some of you, it might seem overwhelming and scary. But luckily, over the last series of videos, and you following my page and downloading this, I feel like we've built up a relationship where I can tell you directly, because it's going to help you. It might feel a little bit harsh, it might feel a little bit on the nose, but if I didn't tell you like this, it wouldn't go through and give you what you needed. Because nothing's holding you accountable. This is free. This is free. You've not paid for this. There's no skin in the game. I've not done anything. You've not had to transfer me any money. You've not had to sign up to anything. You just click download because you want to grow your glutes. I give you everything you need to know to grow your glutes. It's back over to you now. What are you going to do? Are you going to put everything into action? Or are you just going to do what I've been saying on the previous tips, going from one trend to the other trend to the other trend to the next trend? If you're serious about growing your glutes and getting the dream body that you want and feeling confident inside and outside of the gym, what you need to do now is go back over to your emails on the everlasting guide to glute gains. See the training program that I've got in there for you. That's your training program that I want you to try out for the next 7 days. Also, every single day for the next 7 days after you watch this video, you will be receiving an email from me breaking down every single thing that I've spoke about on the previous couple of videos, breaking down exactly what I want you to do to get results. It's only in 7 days, so there's going to be a lot of information, and it's going to be you applying all that information. If you're ready to take your glute gains to the absolute next level and you're sick and tired of thinking it's never going to be me, and you're finally ready to make that change, you've done the best thing that you could possibly do, because you've got the information now. It's time to see the action. I'll see you over on the emails, I'll see you over on Instagram, and I can't wait to see your improvement. Oh, and if you really want to push yourself a little bit more, put some skin in the game, or just DM me accountability if you want to know how I can take this up another level to make sure that you do what you said you would when you felt motivated to do so. Because how many times have you tried something, got bored, and fobbed it off? Don't make that same mistake. Your glute gains are literally on the other side of your email. It's down to you now to put in the work. Are you ready?